There's so much content on the internet about how to get rich, how to make more money. And trust me, I put out content like that myself. But a lot of content does not define where somebody is in their current financial situation. And I think the biggest thing that most people don't do is before you even have a plan, you gotta know where you're at. If you're trying to go somewhere in life, you need to know where you are. It's like trying to get to a destination and you don't know where you are on the map. How are you gonna have a plan and know what turn to take and know what direction to go if you don't know where you're at? So in today's video, I'm gonna teach you the 5 levels of financial stability, what they are, what position you're in, and how to advance to the next level. So if you haven't done so already, hit that bell notification to stay on top of all my videos, follow me on all my major platforms, and let's jump in today's episode. There are 5 levels to financial stability, and they obviously exist on a spectrum once you're in one, but there are characteristics that define each one. And the majority of people are not actually at level 1, they're more so around 2 to 3, but ultimately, it's important for you to learn how to get to 4 to 5 to really live the highest quality of life that you can possibly have. And what's ironic is somebody at level 4 could theoretically be making more money than somebody at level 5. So I know it's confusing, so we're gonna just jump into level 1. And level 1 is actually losing money. Losing money is the first level of financial stability. And this level sucks, okay? It's not fun to lose money. Your life is going backwards. You're hemorrhaging in some way, shape, or form. And a lot of times it's because you're egotistical. It's because you're not taking action. It's because you may have miscalculated and made some bad decision. And typically it's a correction. It's a market correction, a life correction, a universe correction on you that you are doing something wrong, that you need to improve yourself, that you need to change who you are. So the biggest thing I say to people when they're at level 1 is to stop doing the things that are negative in their life. Typically people that are in level 1 where they're just losing money are doing bad things. So it's not necessarily about doing more, it's actually about not doing certain things that are negative. And that trend will be kind of seen between the 2nd and 3rd levels as well. But when you're at level 1, you're making mistakes. You're doing something bad. You're committing a crime. You're making bad business deals. Something that you're doing is wrong. Because if you were to just stagnate, you would just make no money and lose no money. Here you are just losing. And so it's something that you're doing wrong. Level 2, let's jump into this, is just staying in the same position. It's being in the rat race. It's being one of the individuals that exist amongst the world that are just working paycheck to paycheck. They're not making more money. They're not making less money. They're maintaining the same quality of life. And that's just it. And this is a really depressing position to be in. And I would even argue that sometimes this position can be even worse than level 1 because at least at level 1, there's a massive correction. There's a massive stimulation. But level 2, that sense of comfort, that false sense of comfort, I should say, is very dangerous. And typically what happens with level 2 is that when something bad happens, when you have a freak accident happen in your life, God forbid something terrible occurs, you then jump into level 1. A death in the family, somebody losing an arm or limb and they're unable to work, somebody being unable to work due to health, maybe a change in emotional health can really, really change your life. So level 2 is actually sometimes very, very dangerous to be in. And a lot of people in level 2 are actually just one step away from level 1. So level 2 is just paycheck to paycheck. And really what you have to do here is 2-parted. Number 1, you have to learn money-making skills. You have to learn how to make more money by developing a skill set, by learning something. And that really leads to you carving out more time. I understand that people can be very busy, and I know a lot of people, good people, that are in this position of level 2 and they really don't have a choice. They are living paycheck to paycheck. They don't necessarily have the money to invest in a new business, but with the beauty of the internet today, you can literally just hop on YouTube and learn new things. Whether you're in the shower, whether you're on the toilet, whether it's just you when you're cooking, when you're eating, there's always time in the day to learn a new skill, learning a new language, learning something that can make you more money. So I think level 2 is easy to get out of as long as you find the time to learn more things. There's always time in the day. Even when you're going to bed, you can put a video on and learn something and fall asleep to it. Level 3 is when you are making money and saving money. And one thing I want you to understand is that nobody becomes rich from saving. Nobody ever becomes extremely financially stable just by saving money. Saving money is important. It's the first level of financial stability. And I think a lot of people don't necessarily look at saving money nowadays as very important. There's so much stuff on the internet where it's just like make, aggressively create income. And we can live in this Instagram fake reality, how we can make $1 million in a day from dropshipping. But the reality is saving money is very important, and you need to have an emergency fund for about 3 to 6 months of your monthly expenses in order to protect yourself. God forbid something were to happen. When the storm comes, the person that's going to survive is the one that is prepared for it, that has the resources to be weathering the storm. And obviously, when bears go through winter, they eat a lot of food, they hibernate, and it just comes back to everything in life. You need to be able to save money in order to protect yourself from the temporary pains and negativity that life is going to cause you. So this level can exist on a spectrum. It could be the first 3 to 6 months of your emergency fund that you have saved up, or you've really saved for retirement. And this is an amazing thing. Some people actually save for retirement. And so back in the day, a lot of employers with pensions and other employee-based policies would have people basically take a percentage of their earnings out and then put that into an account that would then grow, where it would be a retirement fund. So people a lot of times will save for their environment. And this is actually what is recommended by a lot of financial planners and, kind of the old school mentality. Save for your retirement. Take a percentage of your income every single paycheck and put it towards a retirement account. And this is not necessarily the end of the world bad thing. And it's definitely not level 1. It's definitely not level 2, but you're in the middle of the spectrum, okay? You are not necessarily living the lifestyle that you want to live. You have a fixed amount of money that you can then draw from, and you have to use it very strategically, which can then put pressure on things because you have to live within the constraints of a lifestyle. There's no stimulation, there's no increase, there's no change, there's no fluctuation, which actually I think can be very, very depressing. And at the end of the day, you are maintaining your life. You're not growing, even in your old age. You're not experiencing new things. You are just maintaining the standard of living that you have. And typically it deteriorates because your body, your health, your mindset is deteriorating as well. So it is a slow, consistent decline that is very, very homeostatic by nature. And I think the next thing that we need to talk about is how to get out of this layer. Well, you really are not in a completely bad position. You have to learn to use those savings and the money that you've put aside, not necessarily just to save, but to invest and to leverage it and to build it into something else. I think that it's important to have 3 to 6 months of your bills saved. You should always have 3 to 6 months of your bills saved. But the rest of that money is used to kind of invest and grow and so on and so forth. And so theoretically, liquidly speaking, I don't have a lot of money set aside. The rest of my money is then buried into assets and other ways to then make me more money. It's in private equity, it's invested, it's in different accounts, it's held in collateral, it's in assets, so on and so forth. So that leads us into level 4, which is really having passive income. You make money, you have money saved up 3 to 6 months, maybe a year. It doesn't necessarily need to be anything crazy. And then you have a pool of money that's working for you that's creating a passive income. And this is very powerful. It's really, really amazing. And so passive income is very powerful because it is money that's just going to be given to you based off the interest of the investments that you've made. And so it's very, in a sense, guaranteed. It's very powerful because it's not only the principal amount that you have set aside that is like a structured amount that you could draw from, but it's that principal amount creating additional revenue for you to grow your life. And you can live off your passive income. This is really good. You can live off your passive income and you can really enjoy an income that is replaced, and you still have that security of that principal amount, that lump sum that's drawing you that passive income, the assets, the real estate, the whatever it may be. So you have an extra security net with the saving itself. So living off your passive income is great because what happens is you can stop working. And this gives you more free time to actually enjoy your life and to, in theory, become more in tune with what you want to do and chase your passions, which could potentially make you even more money, which is absolutely amazing. So the last level, okay, when we jump into the last level of financial stability, the 5 layers of financial stability, the last level is your passive income is actually creating more passive income. Your passive income is creating more passive income. Say that again, right? It's very interesting when you have a large level of passive income and you are living below it. When you are living below your means and you have passive income as your income, and that income that's passive is also investing and growing, it's really just stupid. It's crazy. And so what I was saying before, as in level 4, you can technically make more money than level 5. There's a lot of people that make millions of dollars a year and they spend millions of dollars a year. There's a lot of people that can make a lot of money and use all of it to where they're not necessarily saving anything aside and their passive income is effectively just being expunged because they're spending all their money. You know what's funny? I know a lot of millionaires that make 1, 2, 3 million a year, and guess what they spend? 1, 2, 3 million a year. They have no savings. They have a very expensive car payment. They have a really nice place. They spend their money like crazy. I know a lot of guys like that. And those people would, in theory, be at level 2. So here's the messed up part about this. Being at level 5 is only doable if you're able to live under the means of your passive income. That doesn't necessarily mean that you need to be a multi-billionaire to be at level 5. You could be someone that makes passively $10,000 a month. And you can maintain a good lifestyle that costs about $6,000 a month, which gives you an additional $4,000 a month cash flow. And you can use that cash flow to then invest in a business, to then, invest into stocks, to throw it into real estate, whatever it may be. And you're theoretically at level 5. So the secret to get to the top level is really living below your means and investing the difference and allowing the investments to grow and not touching them to the point where that investment itself can not only fund the lifestyle that you live, but can create additional income. With this understanding, you can really transform your financial situation. And this is exactly what I did all my 20s. I lived aggressively below my means, and I generated a large sum of money that then creates me a passive income. And that passive income itself pays me a certain amount of money every single month, every single day in theory. And I also live below that as well. Now, I'm not living a lifestyle where I'm spending millions of dollars every month. It's not the case, okay? But at the same time, I do spend a good amount of money every month, and I get to live below my means of the passive income that's being generated for me, and I'm at level 5. There's a spectrum that exists on level 5. There's obviously a billionaire that makes $1 million a month from his passive investment, and maybe he lives a millionaire lifestyle where his bills are in the millions, so he's putting money aside. But for me, I'm living on a much smaller level of that. I'm happy where I'm at, and it's good to be at level 5 and in those characteristics. And I would highly recommend everybody be at level 5 if you're able to. I hope this video was helpful. Thank you so much for spending a little bit of time here with me today. If you have any questions on this, just DM me on Instagram. It's super easy to get a hold of me. And until next time, guys, Sumi out.